Hello Aries, this is your November forecast. There's a lot happening as usual in the heavens this month, and it starts out first of all with Mercury on the 3rd of November joining the Sun here in your 8th house. So whilst this is going on, the Sun is there for the first 3 weeks as well. This is shining a light on anything to do with any kind of joint financial situation. So it could be something to do with your partner's income, and it could also be to do with maybe a partnership that you might be in business with. It's also shining a light on anything to do with your financial arrangements generally with institutions. So that would be shining a light on maybe a bank, a mortgage, an insurance. It could also bring a possibility of a grant, maybe some crowdfunding coming to you as well with those aspects in that 8th house. And it's also a really good time, Aries, to allow yourself to go deeper, to look at ways in which you can go more deeply inside of yourself. It's a Scorpionic month because of all the Scorpio energy happening for the first 3 weeks of the month. So it's time to look deeper than the surface. Sometimes you're rushing for the next thing, the next this and that and the other. But no, this is certainly a time to just delve and allow yourself the time and space to think more carefully through the decisions that you're about to make. And then you'll make better decisions. So on the 9th of November, we've got lovely Venus going into her home sign of Libra. Now, Venus in Libra, in your 7th house, Aries, you couldn't wish for better for anything to do with relationships. Something nice happening in a relationship, a new relationship, a new friendship. It just means that people that you reach out to will receive you very positively with that Venus energy. And on the 11th of November, we've got a new moon happening in Scorpio here in this 8th house as well. So new beginnings here for you connected with finances. New beginnings, maybe you've been looking for a loan or looking to get some kind of support from somebody else. New beginnings with that new moon for you on the 11th of November. There could be a new person that comes in, a new possibility, a new grant or a sponsorship or an investment, an investor that you might go for. It's just breathing some fresh air into what can sometimes be a little bit of a musty house. There's a tendency sometimes to get a little bit stuck with things, but this is an opportunity to make changes in anything connected with your financial arrangements generally. So you might change your interest rate on your mortgage. You might go to a fixed rate instead of a floating rate. There are all kinds of possibilities here, but there's opportunities for change in something that may have felt very stuck. And on the 13th of November, we've got Mars joining Venus in your 7th house of relationship. So this Venus and Mars are together a lot during this year. So they're coming together for the first 3 weeks of this month. They're really close to one another. So this is a wonderful time for taking action in your relationships, for looking at ways that you can bring more peace in your relationships. And Venus and Mars together, it's the male and female energies coming together. So an opportunity to find more balance in your relationships. Now, of course, Aries, yes, I'm well aware that Uranus is opposite all this energy in your sign. So this is about finding the balance in relationships between this freedom that you really, really crave and need, and at the same time wanting relationships, wanting to connect with people. But this benign energy with Venus and Mars should certainly help you a lot of this month. And on the 21st of November, Mercury dashes along this month into your 9th house, and Mercury in the 9th house along with Saturn there. This is a good time for planning a trip. It's a good time for studying, for learning something new, or for going into higher education. And also a great time for publishing or writing something. Really good for that. On the 23rd of November, we've got the Sun also moving into this 9th house, shining a light on your spiritual journey. Yes, the spiritual you. What has meaning for you in your life? What gives your life meaning? All too often we're kind of busy in the everyday things that we have to do. This is an opportunity to look at, what would I love to be doing? What gives me meaning in my life? What's most important to me now? And really, what do I want to learn? And with Saturn there, you may find yourself embarking on a serious course of study, something that's serious that may take your career into something that's more meaningful to you. Or you may be teaching and mentoring others and helping them with their career and their life direction. And on the 25th of November, we have got a full moon happening here in Gemini in your 3rd house. And so a full moon in the 3rd house. This is a great time for any kind of communications. It's shining a light on how you communicate. Are you getting the kinds of responses you'd like? Are you trying to promote yourself? It's a full moon, so maybe you need to make some changes. Or maybe something's coming to fruition that you've been working on, especially maybe with selling or a deal or negotiating something. And it's a really good time for re-evaluating how you go about social networking, how you connect with people generally, and also shining a light maybe for you to connect more with the people in your neighborhood, the people who are around you, to make connections. It's so often that we hardly know our neighbors these days. Maybe it's time to make an effort. It's so lovely. It's not necessarily that they have to be in and out of your home, but it's so nice to know that you've got somebody that's close, that you can call upon if needed, or they can call upon you. Just that connectedness. This is what this 9th and 3rd house activity that you've got going on this month is all about, Aries. And so we've got this juncture of Venus and Mars, first 3 weeks of the month. We've got Jupiter here in this 6th house, encouraging you greatly to continue to work on your health and your well-being and your balance. Of course, we've got Jupiter now in Virgo, so really for those of you in anything to do with this medical and healing field, this should be a real growth and boosting time for you. We're still in this waning square of Neptune to Saturn, so it's important to be aware of who you feel you can trust, who you feel that you maybe just need to let go of. Maybe it's time to let go of a relationship or something you've been hanging on to. But it's a sense, maybe sometimes with the square to Saturn, there could be a sense of a loss, but always know that when something goes out of your life, it makes space for something better usually and new to come into your life. So that's a lot of what's going on with that square energy. So there you have it, my lovely Aries. A lot of this month is going to be about finances, especially finances with outer circumstances, you know, institutions and investors and partnerships and other people's money. And also, of course, your relationships, but with some lovely aspects this month, especially from the middle of the month, for you to develop some new and better relationships. I wish you a great November. Thank you for commenting, sharing, subscribing, and also don't forget to check out the 2016 forecasts. Bye for now.